The media loves nothing more than a First Lady fashion faux pas, and these women faced epic backlashes for their wardrobe choices, whether they deserved it or not. In October 2018, Melania Trump embarked on her first official solo trip as First Lady of the United States. Her visit to Kenya included a tour of the Nairobi National Park, where she spent time at an elephant orphanage and went on a safari. Melania was evidently impressed by her diplomatic mission, later releasing a statement that read in part, "My time in Kenya impacted me greatly, and I want to thank everyone who took the time to meet with me. The hospitality that I received made the experience so special. I look forward to visiting again in the future." Unfortunately, her visit wasn't entirely without controversy. While on safari, Melania was pictured in a crisp button-down collared white shirt paired with a set of beige pants and calf-high boots. But it was the wide-brimmed white pith helmet she wore that really caused an uproar on social media, largely due to the pith helmet's connection to British colonialism. These hats were widely worn by military officers and colonial explorers throughout the 19th century, and today they're seen by many as a symbol of racist violence. As one critic wrote on X, "I wonder why she is trying to offend her hosts. She can't be that tacky and insensitive, can she?" While another said, "That pith helmet you have carried was used by colonialists during the dark days. Doesn't sit well with us Africans. Who advised you?" Donald and Melania Trump embarked on a state visit to the United Kingdom in September 2025. The First Lady's itinerary included a tour of the Royal Library and a meeting with the joint president of the Scout Association. But most of the attention fell on her fashion choices during a meeting with King Charles and Queen Camilla. Earlier that day, Melania was seen wearing a well-tailored purple skirt suit and a wide-brimmed hat that hid her face. This look drew enough flack, but it got worse when Melania later showed up to a state banquet in a long-length yellow Carolina Herrera gown, which many online commenters considered to be yet another fashion flop. The long-sleeved, off-shoulder dress had a slit that made it look a bit off, and it was accessorized with a pink belt that left visible bumps beneath the fabric. One fashion fan took to X to criticize the ensemble, writing, "I usually love whatever Melania is wearing, but not today. The color, cut, and the belt of the gown was a complete miss, and from my favorite designer." The same user also pointed out that Melania's earrings, a pair of emerald double-drop pieces with golden detail, may have been a good choice otherwise. In this case, though, they didn't appropriately match that particular outfit. On New Year's Eve 2023, Joe and Jill Biden made an appearance on Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest. Looking cheerful as ever, Joe dished out the details of his preferred holiday cuisine, revealed his favorite memories from 2023, and delivered a message of hope to the country.
"We're in a better position than any country in the world to lead the world, and we're coming back, and it's about time."
Meanwhile, the ever-supportive Jill Biden encouraged citizens to be optimistic and kind. While her words were clearly welcome, though, the same could not be said for her outfit. For the appearance, Jill wore a short-sleeved sheer black number paired with drop earrings. The dress featured a transparent neckline and multicolored flower details, which many online critics found to be visually overwhelming. The whole outfit was likened to such items as drapes and fruitcakes. One ex-user claimed that it resembled leftover wrapping paper. Jill's choice of outfit felt even stranger considering it was nothing like her usual holiday style, as she had previously made appearances on Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve in far more fashionable outfits. On New Year's Eve 2020, for example, she'd looked elegant in a long-sleeved green velvet and leather number. 2 years later, she kept her appearance vibrant with a long-sleeved purple top that featured multiple cutouts. During her time as First Lady, Laura Bush liked to keep her style simple and elegant. In her 2010 memoir, Spoken from the Heart, Bush wrote that living under the watchful eye of fashion critics had always been difficult, as she had never been one to keep up with the latest trends. No surprise then that Bush had her fair share of fashion flops. One of her biggest blunders occurred in December 2006, when she wore an off-the-rack Oscar de la Renta gown to the White House reception for the Kennedy Center honors. The then First Lady looked sophisticated enough in the lacy red number with long sleeves and a mandarin collar, which was reported to have set her back a cool $8,500. Unfortunately for her, 3 other women at the event had shown up in the same gown, prompting her to leave and change into a different outfit. Bush's camp brushed off the incident as a minor fashion misstep, highlighting the First Lady's close relationship with the designer. De la Renta had previously dressed Bush in numerous looks, including the chic winter white coat she wore to the 2005 inaugural parade. After her nightmare with the red dress, Bush's press secretary Susan Whitson told the media, "Evidently, Oscar is very popular this season. It just goes to show that no one can resist a beautiful red gown." Back in 2016, Hillary Clinton landed herself a reputation for wearing well-tailored pantsuits in various colors.
You said, "You can tell it's summer." Today, Hillary Clinton hit the beach in a one-piece pantsuit.
Before the pantsuit became her go-to look, though, she had made a fair few fashion mistakes. Take, for instance, her and Bill Clinton's state visit to Japan in 1996, which included a state dinner, a visit to a Chrysler dealership, and dinner with Japan's prime minister. Hillary and her husband attended a number of events on that trip, and very nearly every time she chose to wear something black. This being a somber color more associated with funerals than extravagant state visits, Hillary's choice of outfits caused a fair bit of consternation at the time. One Japanese newspaper ran a headline that translated as, "Far from her fancy image. Why?" Many assumed that Hillary may have been grieving, since the Clinton administration had lost its Secretary of Commerce, Ron Brown, in a plane crash in Croatia on April 3, 1996. That claim was denied by her spokesperson, however, who told the press she is not in mourning. Yet this only made Hillary's all-black wardrobe seem all the stranger. Melania Trump has worn several outfits that missed the mark over the years, and her decision to wear stilettos during an August 2017 visit to Texas was no exception. Just before the trip, the United States had been struck by Hurricane Harvey, causing widespread damage and the deaths of 106 people. As well-wishers made donations to help those who were affected by the floods, Melania and Donald Trump set out to Texas to offer their support. And while Donald's clothes seemed perfectly appropriate for the occasion, Melania's own outfit raised more than a few eyebrows. Leaving the White House earlier that day, Melania was dressed in an all-black ensemble styled with a jungle green bomber jacket. Her sunglasses added a casual twist to the outfit, but it was her decision to wear high-heeled, closed-toe shoes that really rubbed online critics the wrong way. For one thing, the shoes clearly weren't fit for a flood zone. Some critics also used the opportunity to make digs at Donald, with one writing on X, "You won't let her go out unless she looks a certain way. We all know what women are to you, subjects to be controlled." Melania changed into more appropriate footwear when she finally landed in Texas, although whether this was a response to the criticism or simply proof that it was all for naught is anyone's guess. Notably, though, Donald addressed the controversy later.
She's dressed appropriately for the White House, because we respect the White House. Then when she got out in the plane in Texas, she was wearing sneakers.
Barack Obama made history when he was elected to office in November 2008, becoming the first ever African-American U.S. president. But he and his family had hardly settled in the White House when Michelle Obama was subjected to her first major fashion scandal. For her first official photo as First Lady, Michelle donned a sleeveless black Michael Kors dress that she accessorized with vibrant white pearls. To many people, this look may have seemed innocuous enough, but some critics decided to lambaste her for showing off her bare arms. Some of these critics felt that Michelle's look was too easygoing, while others claimed that her choice of outfit was inappropriate for the cold February weather. Those who defended Michelle argued that the backlash had been an attempt at intimidation, with some opinion pieces at the time suggesting that the criticism was rooted in racism and misogyny. Michelle finally responded to these negative comments long after she had left the White House, dismissing the reactions to the photo as political.
At a point, you're like, oh, this is politics. This is, if you can't beat them, make everybody scared of them.
Following Bill Clinton's election to office in November 1992, he and Hillary Clinton hosted their first state dinner at the National Governors Association winter meeting. The event was attended by several prominent figures, yet it was Hillary who ended up as the center of attention. Hillary landed her name in the history books for her fashion choice that night, a long-length, figure-hugging dress by designer Danica. This cold shoulder number featured a high neck, full sleeves, and shoulder cutouts that made Hillary the talk of the town. Some have argued that it seems odd that Hillary could make a fashion headline in the first place, considering she hadn't properly established her public identity at the time. She was previously the First Lady of Arkansas and had worked extensively with children and families in her role, but this was one of her first public appearances as a global figure. Just a few days later, Bill had appointed Hillary to head his task force on national health reform, and commenters found themselves wondering whether they were supposed to see her as a go-getting political figure, a fashion trendsetter, or the perfect White House host. Years later, Clinton addressed both this topic and that dress.
You've got to still have fun in all of these different roles that you're in or I'm in or anybody is in their lives.
Hillary was ahead of the curve in more ways than one here too, as the cold shoulder dress later became a runway favorite. Michelle Obama courted scandal once more in August 2009 when she stepped off Air Force One wearing a pair of dark gray shorts and a white tank top. Michelle added a pop of color to the look with a short-sleeved checked pastel green shirt, as well as a pair of sneakers and dark sunglasses. At the time, the Obamas were on a family vacation at the Grand Canyon National Park in Arizona, which would go some way to explaining Michelle's choice of outfit. Yet many critics attacked her regardless, claiming that it was an unprecedented look that only served to disrespect the presidency. It's not quite clear what kind of outfit would be appropriate for such a trip, but Jill Biden later wore a dress and sneakers when she visited the park. In a later interview with BET's 106 in Park, Michelle appeared to agree that this fashion faux pas was one of her very worst. When asked about her greatest regret, she said, "I kind of always am happy with what I'm wearing. Sometimes as First Lady, sometimes I forget I'm the First Lady and I'm running around in shorts."